intro, so we're going to go straight in.
Okay.
All right, we're in.
That was a very quick intro today. Wow. I was barely done saying hello to myself.
Yeah. Happens once in a while.
All right. Well, we hit the right button and we got there quicker.
Yeah.
I know you all love having us, so we're here. Right?
Yeah.
Couple great shows the last couple of weeks. We've had a
Mhm.
lot of great city kind of questions, things that are going on in our community, and we talked a lot about upcoming events. We seem to be getting a lot of viewership, so works great.
We're keep on rolling with it.
Yeah. Now, this week, what's going on? First of all, we'll remind you at home, if you're watching, please tell your friends right now, hey, Mayor's Update's on Monday night this week because we have things we have to do Tuesday night now, and so we can't be here. And we thought, we're not going to not have Mayor's Update. So, hey, there's no council Monday this Monday because we only meet once in July in the summer, and that's next Monday night for council. So we thought, hey, this will work.
Yeah, that's very good.
We've got time.
Absolutely.
If you noticed, you don't have time anymore for anything.
No, there's no time.
It's been a busy summer.
There's no time between all the different things and all the different responsibilities. It's just eating away. So it was nice. Yeah, on Sunday actually I had some time to relax a little bit, which is great. And Saturday was the same.
I did slow down a little on Sunday. That was yesterday.
I know, right? It doesn't feel like it though after today.
Well, we had to have lunch with Stephanie's son. They're moving to Edmonton in about 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So we thought we better spend more time with them. We don't really care for them all that much. No, I'm just teasing. Stephanie's not watching tonight because it's Monday night.
Is she going to rewatch it?
No, maybe later on. So I better apologize for being that way. Right?
Yeah.
Because I just try to be funny sometimes and it doesn't work. So any of you watching, please, if you have questions, get them in early because each week in the last 3 or 4, we've been kind of rushing to get through the questions at the end. So a lot of things going on this week. And of course, we have a bit of a weird weather pattern coming our way with the end of a hurricane that we think will be a fair bit of rain on on Wednesday and Thursday, right? Which may mess up seniors picnic in the park, but we hope it doesn't. We hope it's later in the day, and then because that happens in the morning and through early afternoon,
to 3 or something like that, 3 p.m.
Yeah, that would be the latest. So
it's one of the most highly attended events in St. Thomas. I think the seniors picnic.
Exceptionally, you see how well that park can be used when you get events like the seniors picnic in the park. Right, a whole lot of displays and a lot of great music that we all remember the words to the songs. Well, I do because my older sister taught them to me.
Yeah, but there's that event, and then probably the largest event that St. Thomas holds, which is Nostalgia Nights,
right?
This Saturday
in the same week.
Yeah,
right. So head out to the park. And then head out Saturday to anywhere on Talbot Street and look at the old cars and all the different crafters and all the different music and other stuff that's happening. I'll be working our information booth, and I know you'll be everywhere.
Yeah, I'll be snapping some photos,
right,
as I do, and bring an appetite because the Optimists will be there with their barbecues, and they're basically a large contingent of the volunteer force.
Oh, they are. The Optimists offer a lot of help to us on Nostalgia Nights and a great deal of food with their food tent. So,
give back, buy some burgers and hot dogs. I know it'll be hard. Maybe some fries.
Yeah, throw yourself on that.
Yeah.
It works best for me. Hot dogs are exceptionally special.
Yeah. And there's going to be a car bash, I believe, as well. That's going to be
bashing cars again?
We're bashing cars again.
And you can't pick one.
No. This is a very specific car. Do not go and bash.
Right, because the other cars out there are worth a lot. So
some of them are in the $1 million range.
Yeah, there's some exceptionally classic cars out there. So don't bash those.
Well, but come look at them. Enjoy them.
Come look at them.
Yeah. But if you don't like that fender, you can tell them, but don't
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So Nostalgia Nights, I know every year we say this and we never meet our own time goals because we're going to try and park the cars between 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Right. And then, want you downtown just shortly after that. Right. Right. Every other year, cars start showing up at 2:00 to get best spots. We start parking cars. Talbot Street gets closed because we can't put people down there anymore. So be flexible with your between 2 and 4 time.
And be understanding.
Yes.
of the traffic restrictions that might come in.
Well, and then we'd have classic cars show up right at 4:00, and they're way at one end or another, and they go, "Wait, what happened? I thought I was supposed to show up at 4:00."
Yeah.
Well, you are. But others were eager
beavers,
right? Yes,
as they say.
right.
Yeah, but yeah, lots of things to do. The Canadian Bombshell Beauties are also having a fashion pageant.
Yes,
on the steps of City Hall.
Yeah,
at 5:30. And
wow.
So come on out for that. That's going to be a lot of fun as well. Get that feeling of that 70s to 40s era.
That real nostalgia thing.
Yeah.
If you haven't been down to see the Bombshell Beauties at any of our previous nostalgia nights, because I think they've been here the last 4, 5 maybe.
And they usually have a vintage market as well with a lot of vintage finds, clothing.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. So come on down and see. There's lots of stuff going on, even if you're not a real car guy. And I don't count myself in that category, although there's many people who just love to come see old cars. I'm old enough to remember a lot of old cars, so I like nostalgia nights because I go, "Hey, I used to really want one of those," or the guy I hated had one of those. Or, those things. But it's a great night to come see. But lots of other stuff to do. Train rides.
Yep, free train rides.
4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. Train rides,
courtesy of some amazing sponsors as well.
Free rides for if you get there and get a ticket. So get down early and get a ticket. You may have to then go look at some old cars and then go back to when your train ride is.
There's also 2 bands. There's a band at City Hall, it's actually being sponsored by Wendy's. So thank you for that.
You're
Thanks
welcome.
to the mayor.
Right.
And then there's another, Randy Doughty is playing at the other end on the west end of Talbot.
Down Hepburn Park or
Hepburn Parquet. Okay, just on the street in front of Hepburn Parquet.
Because there's some other stuff going on in Hepburn Parquet too, so we can kind of
there's a whole market,
right? So bring your wallet.
Yeah.
Bring your dancing shoes. We got bands at 2 spots, and we've got a lot of old cars. So come on down and say hi.
Yep. All right. So that's Nostalgia Nights. Well, another great event we got going on.
Right.
There's a classic is Dino Days over at Cannondale Nurseries. Now, this is one of the things we went to it with Lily and Jess and Lily and I all went last year. It was amazing. And Lily was just like, wow. And she's 3 now and loves dinosaurs even more.
Right. So, I mean, we know that Cannondale's been around for a number of years.
Yep.
But the fact that they've actually found dinosaurs on their property is quite incredible.
Very incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. For a place in Ontario compared to Alberta,
I think I heard your report and a couple of other families' reports from last year about how much fun it was.
There was a whole bouncy castle, Jurassic Park style. You got to climb up and through. I think Lily and I went through 3 different times.
So you're in the bouncy castle and a raptor comes running by. No,
there's
no danger with these dinos.
No. But they've got an archaeological place too, so the kids can go and they can find fossils,
go through
the sand. And then they also this year they've got an archaeologist coming to talk to people as well. Anyway, go to the Cannondale check out all the stuff. It's super cool. They've had the first one this past weekend. The final one is next weekend.
Good. So come on out.
Recommend.
I was at the 40th anniversary of the Port Stanley Terminal Rail.
I saw the pictures. Right. It looks like a great time.
So we're talking about the train rides for nostalgia nights, but when you get a group of volunteers like Port Stanley Terminal Rail, 40 years it's been in operation. And really started planning 2 years before. But you can imagine how hard it is to run a railway.
Yeah.
I mean, you and I
it's one of the most difficult
we put on
things.
An event that's one day, right? They built a railway. Right? I mean, I know the tracks are already there, and there used to be an old railway that ran, but they maintain and operate real engines and cars and stuff. Congratulations. Couldn't be happier to have you around as a great community connection between Port Stanley and St. Thomas, but I wanted to congratulate you.
Absolutely. All right, so caps off. We also talked about them last week, but they did have their 5th anniversary celebration
and it was
on Saturday.
Packed. I saw people dancing and a picture of at least 100 people in it, so everybody from the Mug Club was there. Yeah. It was just really quite an event, and 5 years. It's great to see Fran and Rick and what they've been able to accomplish to this point. I think there's lots more in their future too.
It's very exciting.
We need questions from anybody. We've got we've got so much going on in our community from a construction point of view and a development point of view, certainly out at Yarmouth Yards, and a lot going on. When it's that big, there's big things happening in four corners of Yarmouth Yards, right? With all the construction along Highbury, and I understand we're starting to pour curbs this week down one side of Highbury, which will make the rest of the expansions flip over.
By the end of July.
Yep.
They should be able to switch over. So instead of being on the
west side, they'll be on the new east side that's expanded over. And then I heard there's just a little bit more, more electrical to move, but so much stuff happening underground too, along South Edgeware, 5 meters deep, the new wastewater pipe and stuff going into there. So it's incredible. We start talking about summer construction here in St. Thomas.
Yeah.
And I got the update for Canes, and curb starts going in there this week too. And if we get weather like this all week, then I tell you, you get a whole lot of construction, and it's really deep, and it takes a long time to do it. And this has already been a long time, right? But then the most frustrating time may be when we pour curbs, because the people, you can now not get into your driveway because we're pouring a curb and a sidewalk, and you can't drive over it for 3 days. So it's quite difficult when we start getting into construction. So I forgive you all for swearing at the city this week, right? But it would be so much better when it's done.
Yeah. Brett Longfield has a question. He says, what was on council's agenda this evening, and what were the discussions and outcomes of each of the items? Well, actually, Brett, there was no council this evening. Council is being held in July next week.
We only have one meeting in July and one meeting in August. So we really saved them up. There'll be longer agendas. So by the time we do Mayor's Update next Tuesday, if that's our normal time, it should be, we'll be able to give you a full update of all of the summer events, or at least the July events for council.
Yeah, it keeps you guys busy over the summer, you know?
Yes, that agenda comes to us this Wednesday, so we get 4 or 5 days to prepare, right? Yeah. Because, we wouldn't want to ruin our weekends for having to read the agenda. No, of course. It's exactly how it works, though, because it takes us that while to get the agenda put together so we can be ready to go on Monday night.
Have there been any updates about the new animal shelter?
Yes, we're into some pretty good fundraising for it now. Even the animal shelter people are talking about the building of the new shelter. So I think we should have an official announcement, or maybe look at the plans and that type of thing within the next couple of weeks. So since we're only meeting in July and August, one of the two meetings in the summer, we will discuss it. But that brings me to remember that last Wednesday night we had, I think I talked about it on Mayor's Update, Yappy Hour at the market, at Wednesday market. Now, if you haven't been to Horton Market on a Wednesday night yet, come. It's a lot of vendors. And I didn't even go in the building because I had my puppies with me, and they were well behaved. This is another training for them, going out where there's more crowds of people.
You had Jojo there as well. So you had 3 dogs.
Yes, we had all 3 dogs. And we got our picture taken in the kissing booth with the puppies, right? And coming up a week from Friday, there's a puppy parade at Pinafore Park. All of these are starting to be preliminary fundraising for the new shelter. So anybody wants to participate, bring your favorite furry animal out, and we'll have fun.
Yeah, it'd be fantastic. And if we don't support a Wednesday market, it won't last.
No, we had a lot of people tell us we wanted a weekday market. We want a weekday market, and we have it. And I won't say it wasn't popular last Wednesday, but it's not as popular as the Saturday morning market. And we'd like to get people visiting both. So please come on out to Wednesday market, especially when it's beautiful weather like we're having this summer. Come on out and see some of the vendors. And this is maybe my favorite time of year. Corn starting to be ready. All the berries.
Yep.
And last Saturday was
blueberries.
Berry, right?
So good.
Berry days. Yep. And then we really start to see all of the other fresh produce available. So all of the lettuce and tomatoes and everything is now starting to be really plentiful and fairly inexpensive at markets because there's so much of it, right? We wish that could happen all year. So come help now.
So we got a question in from Dale Cummings saying, or a statement saying the Port Stanley train should run from Port to the station downtown. Do the tracks still go all the way from the two places? This has been coming up every year. This comes up, this question.
Well, we will run it from the station out to Parkside on through Nostalgia Nights. So please come on down for your train rides there.
Yep.
It just takes a great deal more volunteers if you're bringing it all the way from Port Stanley to the downtown train station. Think of all the city streets that it passes or crosses that don't actually have gates because it's a tourism railway.
Yep.
And so it would take a plethora of volunteers to be there. Let's get there. Start volunteering in your community, and we'll have enough volunteers to do some of these neat things. But we'll carry on. We're trying to do all we can in the downtown. So when we have a downtown event, we'll almost always have train rides. And Port Stanley Terminal Rail wants to run itself, but can't always count on the time it takes to get all the way downtown. So if it comes from Port Stanley to Parkside and then back, they know that they can cover that ground without crossing too many roads and having to have too many volunteers.
Yeah,
it's the best I can say.
The fuel cost is the other one. It's a fairly high fuel cost to have the train come up and back as well.
Yeah.
So that's another one that would have to be gone through. Now, in terms of that, in terms of getting like some kind of a system, one of the ideas that have been floated is a gondola system. Now, Paul Jenkins, the CEO of the Chamber of Commerce, is a big proponent of this. I've actually looked into it. It looks kind of cool. So you have all these posts all along the highway, and then you have gondolas that pass back and forth.
Okay. We're finding from the construction we're doing, posts along the highway are not a cheap thing either. Right. The other thing that we're finding, I'm not finding a way to think this is bad. I'm not. But the insurance to run a gondola would be equal to the insurance to run a railway.
You wouldn't have
again not to.
You wouldn't have to close down the crossings though, right? Because you just go above all the traffic.
Okay.
As long as it doesn't hit any say if it's a dump truck and they forget to put their
we can find a ski slope shutting down that wants to give up its gondola system.
Yeah.
Maybe we got something going.
There we go. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it'd be just amazing to have a gondola system that flip back and forth.
The argument would always be back and forth from where to where, Grayden? Where would it start and where would it end? And
tourism office,
who doesn't get it? Yeah. And how do you get on a gondola?
You have to go
halfway.
Up to a high platform.
You have to climb up each pole as it goes by.
So you have one at Parkside, right? Obviously, you need to have one at the school.
I get the beginnings and the end.
No, and the tourism office downtown.
Okay, so that's the beginning and the end.
Yeah, maybe one at the Elgin County office as well.
Okay, and so all the way to once you get on, you have to be coming all the way, or
in between those little spots.
So it's not truly a transit system as much as it's some fun. We'll do a zip line.
Yeah. I mean, zip lines, I've always really liked zip lines.
Yeah.
The insurance on that might be a bit higher, but I'm down. Have you been up to the one, there's that Eco Park?
No, I have not.
I went with my dad on Father's Day a couple years ago.
Well, that's another question. Who's been out to the bike park at the water tower?
Not me.
No, I haven't, because I don't mountain bike, but apparently it's really well done and good. So
it looks amazing.
See, this is some more things we shouldn't do it. We should talk to somebody who does it.
The last time I went mountain biking with friends, the person went up a ramp, fell off of it, smashed his head on the ground, and fractured his vertebrae.
Right.
And the fireman had to come in and go along the rail line, cut through.
Okay,
so
that's not a positive thing for the bike thing.
Well, it's just people need to know there's dangers involved. Anyway, I haven't really done too much of it since then.
What else we got on here for questions?
Kim Messenger is saying the PAW Festival, July 20th, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., $5 each.
Okay, great. Pinafore Park for it too, I think. Am I right? Let me know if I'm right.
Brett Longfield is replying to Ben Nichols' comment saying the railway city needs the train.
Right.
People crave the train.
Great. Then make sure it's full every time it's running, please.
Yeah.
And make sure you volunteer if you can, because those are the two things it has to have. It's first of all, enough income to keep it running, and also the volunteers to help do it too.
Yeah. And Brett Longfield is saying active transportation networks, which is absolutely important. And something that's also being built into the PowerCo.
Sure.
Or the Yarmouth Yards site plan, so that you can have multi-use paths.
Trails. I mean, trails
Must.
or is the active transportation networks that we have here.
And they're
And so somebody
fantastic.
mentioned bike lanes, same
Yeah.
thing, right? We need to be able to connect every part of our city with the other parts of the city from an active transportation, whether it's walking or riding, pushing a stroller, whatever else it might be.
Mhm. Dale Cummings says, for being the railway city, we sure don't back the theme. No train rides on weekend, etc. Might as well get rid of the museum.
Well, come on out and volunteer instead of complaining. It might be my way of putting it.
I love the museum. I would never want to get rid of that.
But they also can't open it all the time because they need help there too, right? We need to fundraise to help them save the building and work well on the building.
Yeah.
They do their own fundraising and work on repairing or refreshing old train cars, right? But every group in town could use your arms and legs, even if you're not into railways. Come on out and volunteer, help, right? So the people who come from out of town will get a good tour. I mean, I keep meeting, Stephanie was telling me at work last week how many people she met in St. Thomas that aren't from here.
Yeah,
New York.
Well, we saw her at
Toronto,
Wendy's on Saturday. Yeah,
right?
She was saying the same thing.
Yeah, it's incredible. So these people want someplace to go. The Elevated Park, what a great place. The Railway Museum, what a great place. Right? If we could run the trains every Saturday all the way downtown, what a great thing to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but we need everybody's help.
And Ben Nichols is saying get Cody Bartlett on, and that he helps with the Water Tower Park and owns a local shop. So
great. Let's see if we can do that in the next little while. Yeah.
I also want to say, in terms of the trains, there's going to be more trains with this increased industrial development than there's ever been before. So you're going to be stopping at a lot more.
Yeah. I know we're the railway city, but when we stop it, when the trains stop cars for more than a minute, I hear about it. Right. So let's remember, some of these trains are actually carrying goods that are dollars and cents for our city and jobs for people in our city too.
Yep, but that traffic is about to increase extensively.
Rail traffic for sure. That's what we want. We'd rather it was rail traffic than truck traffic. So we'll do our best.
Dale Cummings says, I volunteered for over 20 years with minor baseball and hockey. My health isn't the best anymore, or I would.
Thank you, Dale, for the volunteering you've put. I wasn't specifically pointing you out, but anybody who wants something in our community, I know I've used the line before. My mom used to use it, is volunteering is the price you pay for living somewhere, right? Being involved in your community. So everybody, and I stopped and watched just for a second today at the Grand Central Ball Diamond. Just love the looks of that place, and kids no bigger than this out there playing tonight. So always great to see.
And Lily was at soccer on Saturday morning as well. Just fantastic over at One Password.
Right.
Yep. Super fun. Great team of people there running that.
Well, and she's having fun running, right?
She loves kicking over pylons. That's her favorite thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then putting them back up.
Oh, okay. So she's not just disruptive. She puts the pylon back.
Yeah. We play a game called, we build towers out of magnetiles.
Right.
And then we play tower down, where she smashes them. Loves it.
As long as it all gets put away in the end and goes back up again.
Well, right? Yeah, most of the time.
Yeah, most of the time. I'm asking Jess.
Yeah. Jess is very involved.
Do you have any other questions on here we haven't answered tonight? Yeah, the PAW Festival, the answer was yes, it's at Pinafore Park on the 20th. So, perfect.
Yeah.
Great. Wow, we're in good shape then.
Steam
Center.
Yes, Steam Center. Painting over in
Westlake
Evans Park. You don't have to bring anything. You just bring yourself. You are something. Don't ever think that. But you just bring yourself, and then they'll have all the other supplies there, from like canvases to paints, and then you can just enjoy the time. So look that up on the Steam Center's Facebook page, all their info.
And if your name's Art,
well,
it would be a good place for you to go, because it's about painting.
Yeah.
See,
art.
Yeah. If I got to explain them, they're not very good, are they? No, just not working today. And that area is not too far from Caps Off, like directly across the road. So after you're done all that work, because
or partway through and you need some inspiration,
well, that may help too. Right? A stout might just work for you.
Absolutely, it really gets you through. Dale says, sorry for being a grumpy old man, Long.
Well, no, that's my rule, Dale. You can't have it.
And I'm slowly getting there.
You kids, get out of my backyard. No. I have noticed as I age, I'm less tolerant than I used to be. But it's not so much with kids. I love watching kids play. I'm just a grumpy old man to adults who are not.
Yeah. Well, I got grumpy the other day because I had to wait to actually get through the light at First and Talbot.
More than one light?
That's the first time it ever happened in St. Thomas. And one of the things I love about this city is that it's always been like, you get to the stoplight, when it goes green, you make it through.
Yeah, right.
You're not like held back. Whereas in Toronto, like you'll be sitting there, you can see it.
I was going to suggest that's the way to cure yourself of this frustration. Go to Toronto.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And all of a sudden, that one wait for one light at First Ave is, this is the right place to live.
And so I went there a couple times last month for work. Yeah. Love St. Thomas.
Yeah,
traffic here is amazing.
Yeah. No, I've got to go to Toronto twice in the month of July, I think. Yeah. And I'm not looking forward to it.
Oh, if you can train in and then like Uber or taxi around.
Yeah, neither time can I. So,
that's unfortunate. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I think we're still just about right for the size and our growth, but this will happen occasionally where someone doesn't go fast enough through the light and you'll wait one more light.
Yep.
It's a shame.
Ben Nichols says, I heard that the transportation refresh open house results were going to be posted online at some point. Do we know how far along that is?
Yeah, I would think that the consulting group will take all of those, but there's more than that it is collecting comments from. So there'll be some online comments where, right, and there'll be other surveys out there where we're actually surveying people, and then all of those results will come out. I would guess it would be in September before we see anything on it, but we're collecting from as many people as we can. We found that we've got to find neat ways to do this. It's funny because we use the home show for a lot of surveying work for ourselves because you got a bunch of people in one room at one time. But if you I don't want 20 people making the future decisions for our community based on, 83% said they wanted a gondola.
83 of those 20 people?
That's right.
Of those 20 people?
83% of the 20 people said that. And so we have to make sure that we get as much information as we can, roll it up, and then let City Council see it as to we can move forward on our strategic plan.
Which is why it's so important for everyone to participate if they can find the time, because otherwise,
Well, I mean, after we made the last transit changes, which were really asked for in every survey we did, let's get back to 7 days a week and let's get transit working again in the evenings.
Yep.
Right. I must have heard from 300 people that said, why didn't I get to be part of that?
Yeah.
Well, because we made it as open as we possibly could. We probably talked about it on Mayor's Update for 10 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
And we put it out there in every means we can. So thank you for mentioning the Transportation Master Plan, because we're still collecting data. Please go into the City Hall website and say you want to participate in a survey. And
stthomas.ca.
Right. Right. Please, we need your input too.
Yep. All right. And there's another beehive that's coming out.
Oh.
So this is going to be with Nathan Bachma.
Right.
And he's one of the engineers at the city.
Yes.
And he's going to be talking all about the pumping station as well as the YES project, which is the Yarmouth Yards Earthworks and Servicing.
Right.
It's like roads.
It's the stuff like
underneath.
Like how many kilometers of road is there? How many multi-purpose trails are there?
Yeah.
So lots.
It's so many MUPs.
Yeah. MUPs. You're right. We came up with because if we can, we're going to give it an acronym.
As many acronyms.
Yeah,
like the engineers, they got so many acronyms. I love
it. I couldn't figure out what YES was, and I couldn't figure out what MUPs were.
I'm slowly sorting it out. Yarmouth Yards Earthworks and Servicing.
Great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Double Y at the front.
So now there's two of us in the public that know what that means. Right?
Oh, come on. Mike Kirkley knows. I'm pretty sure he's got it sorted
out. So three of us.
Yeah, there's three. There's three, And three's a party, as they say. So there you go.
Well,
we're good to go.
If we get out there in the general public, we'll make it work. I'm going to get T-shirts made. Hey, what's a MUP? Or whatever.
Muppet. You can be a Muppet.
Yeah. I can do that.
So
You'll
Dale's
be the guy,
yeah,
those two grumpy guys in the
yeah,
balcony. That's us.
at the information booth. Just like,
Get out of our town. Yeah.
Dale says, "Oh, Joe, are you going to still be at the information booth at the car show?"
Absolutely. That's my favorite place. And please come by and visit. There might even be a hamburger in it for you, but I'll be there all day. And it's my favorite spot. And I meet all sorts of people from out of town go, are you really the mayor? Yeah, okay, disbelief. I get it.
No, I'm the stunt double.
Yeah, I'm the stand-in good-looking one for the mayor. Yeah, that's all we got. This is St. Thomas. What else will we find?
But what do you want?
Yeah.
No, sorry.
Okay,
Sorry.
we're having too much fun.
Yeah. Well, that's about that of our time. I'm just looking here if anybody's like texted me. Sometimes I get texts during the show. Just to
I never think to look. Yeah, and it's Monday night, so I was a little worried that tonight I haven't got anybody texting me. Right?
No crazy texts coming in for the show, so I think we're good to wrap up.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks to everybody. Thanks to you for coming out every time. And viewers, sponsors, all the
fun,
things.
Right? We couldn't do it without you because it would be really boring because there wouldn't be any questions. So please tell your friends you just watched it so they watch it later on tonight when it stays up and stays up for the whole week.
Keep laughing. Stay smiling. We'll see you next week.
Yep.